Home-based workers are an invisible workforce, both to government and to many employers. Invisible in the sense that they are not recognized as workers, yet they are indeed part of supply chain, so they're aware that they are there.
We are home-based workers it is very important for us to work because people need clothing to dress themselves. And I think that our home-based workers also deserve that the government can give us work, because at the moment government don't recognize us. They don't see us, they don't know us, they don't do anything about us.
Home-based workers are workers who do productive or paid work, either from their own homes or from collective spaces close to their homes, within the vicinity of their home. So for example, in South Africa, you could find that home-based workers would work in a collective space in the township, for example, where they would then pay rent for the space that they are working on.
Umsebenzi wethu ubaluleke kakhulu uthunga kuba uyafumanisa into yoba wonke umuntu uyayinida into ethungiweyo, sinxiba into ezithungiweyo. So umsebenzi wethu ubaluleke kakhulu because akakho umuntu onohamba mos esitratweni enganxibanga, so which is lelona sinoxanduva olukhulu kwi-economy. Kukho into siyenzayo kwi-economy.
Bekade ngidayisela iy'ngane nje esikoleni, ngidayisela amagwinya namasemeja namaships. Ngase ngibona ukuthi hayi ake ngizame ngifunde nokuhlala, ngizakhele ukuhlala. Ngibona kuyibhizinisi eli-right ngoba nje ngihlalisa phansi ney'ngane zami sengiyakwazi ukuthi ngiy'fundise zikwazi ukulenza, seziyakwazi ukwenza. Nokuthi mangase siqhubeke nalo kunga-right sithole ney'ndawo zokuthi sikwazi ukufakela impahla yethu ama-workshop kanjalo nje. Asakabi nayo into e-right yokusebenza.
I was at home for 2-3 years, and so I found out that Abby, she gave me the job, and I started here to work for her. No pressure on me while I worked at Abigail Fashions. Before, there was a lot of pressure on me at the big factories, and I've earned much more than I'm earning now. But I'm satisfied with what I'm getting here because it's near to our house, no need to travel.
The wages you have in clothing, yes, you have to. As you work, you know every week when you work, then you know my boss is going to pay me by the end of Friday. But now I'm working in a co-op. I have to work according what the company applies you for work. Certain bags, certain amount, and that is only the certain money you're gonna get. Like for instance, it's a 2,000. In the clothing you get 1,300, but in the co-op you get by the end of the month 1,200 per week. By the end of the month you're only earning a 2,000 rand.
Umvuzo wethu awulingenanga ne ngoba kaloku sipeya asipeyi isigcina yabo asipeyi imali isisigcina.
Umzekelo singabona abantu baprodusayo xa i-client inokuza direct kuthi ne, then umvuzo wethu ungabhetele kule imali esiyenzayo ngoku, rather than into yoba kubekho middleman in between.
Like we working there for Melomed, and it's very important because the people need it, the doctors and the nurses need accounts every day, so they have to go total out by our guys every day. And we made the feet of the gowns also, we made the coveralls, we made the caps, so it's very important. That's why we have to let the worker every day out. We can't hold back for the next day or that. They have to be work every day. They have to go out.
There's no inclusion and recognition of them as workers, and therefore, they fall under the radar of any policy.
It's very unhealthy for us to work in that environment because there isn't enough warmness in our place. There's a lot of things that must be done in our co-op. So if the government can help us of upgrading our place, see that our in a nice environment of working. Because the moment you're in a nice environment of working, and you will be happy and you will be glad to work and come running to your work every day.
If you look at home-based workers, it's really under the capitalist economy is that the site of production has been moved into the privacy of the home, into the privacy of working class homes. So workers then absorb all those risks that would otherwise be within a factory setup.
Ngibona kuphileka noma ke kunalesimo ke esikhona kuyimanje ukuthi ke asikwazi ukusebenza ngoba COVID-19 akusebenzeki nokuthi asinazo neendawo ezinhle zokuthi sisebenze.
Voor die COVID-19 het ons baie werk gehad. Ons werk van maand tot maand. Ons het elke tweede week 'n different bag gehad om te doen. En as April gewees het ons oortyd gewerk. En ons het alles ingesit wat ons kon. Maar wat COVID begin, lockdown begin, het het gestop en het Township Patents is 'n export company. So verder as daai het ons in between maas gedoen vir private mense wat stukkies ingebring het en ons is baie dankbaar vir daai.
Okwangoku ngexesha le-lockdown kubhetele kunokuhlala endlini kuba ikhona isente esiyifumanayo ngalo msebenzi siwenzayo.
I-lockdown ne-COVID-19 isichaphazele kakhulu. Umzekelo mna ndadeske sahlala elokishini ixesha elide kakhulu, and then ke ndadeske ke mna ndagoduka ndabheka ezilalini ndayohlala ezilalini.
So it would be very important to recognize and value all forms of work, especially work in the informal economy. As we look to come out of COVID-19 period, as we look to restore the economy, it would be critical for government to consider informal workers and find ways of including them in this ailing economy to boost the economy, but obviously to do that in a way that's inclusive, that allows for regulation, but again I would emphasize not punitive regulation but progressive and inclusive regulation to recognize informal workers who are already there and find ways of actively including them. They are already economic actors, they contribute economically, but for them to be part of the mainstream in an inclusive way